Hey everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So it's been a while and so I thought that I would do a video rather than put a regular video out. I thought that it would be good to maybe talk with you guys instead of an actual video. So that's what I'm going to do today. I am going to actually have a video on goldfish out on Tuesday, so this is going to be like today's video. You're going to have to excuse the glare here and here. Unfortunately, there's very few places that I can actually film without there being a lot of glare. So okay, we've got quite a few people here already. That's fantastic. So we've got Elena says hi, Pet Enthusiast says hi, Lexi, Noah, Sandy, Miranda. Okay, so I have a question for you, Life with Pets. Okay, if you've got questions, then go ahead and ask them. That's what I thought I'd do for this video, just sort of a bit of a Q&A. And so if you've got any questions, then go ahead and ask them. So Jacob, hey guys. Chris Aquatic says hi. Creative Keeping says hi. I thought that was Creative Pet Keeping for a minute there. You've got a very similar name. So let's see, can Betafy live in a scape tank? Yeah, I don't see why not. It probably is easier to raise them in sort of more of a bear tank, although we did do it in a scape tank. Well, it wasn't quite scape, but it did have a fair bit as well. So Rodents and Roshis is here, hi. Okay, so Miranda, no, I'm quitting smoking and this is helping me through a craving. Well, that's good to know. I timed that well then, didn't I? So that's really good. So can a beta live in a 2.5? Yes, 5 is better, but yes, the absolute minimum is a 2.5, but I do think that a 5-gallon is better. Okay, how is Bandit? Noah, you must have missed the video on that one. Bandit actually died. It was probably about 3 weeks ago now. We did do a video on it, just sort of explaining what happened and so on. So, okay, nice. I have confidence now because there are fingerlings. I'm not quite sure what you're going on about there. How are you feeding your snails calcium? We actually get a calcium supplement. I think I've got some out here I can show you. We've actually just put on our website a snail package together, so if you want to check that out, then go ahead and do so. But this is what we have here, and what we do is we do 1 tablespoon of this and we add it into the Rapashi gel food, which I also have here. So we add it into that and then we make that up. We also do it with baby food as well. That's another one that you can do it with. So you can basically add it in. You can also do cuttlebone, and I don't have any of that to hand right now, but you'd find that in the bird section of the pet store, or again, like I say, we have started doing it on our website, so if you want to take a look at them. All right, I've missed a load of questions there. Let me just go back. Bill says, I love your channel so much. Thank you very much. Do I have a dream fish? I think I do love beta fish, but a dream fish that maybe I couldn't own, I'm not really sure. I love the Denison barbs, and obviously we own them already, so I do really like those. So I guess maybe those. All right, I have lost the chat on here now. Oh, there we go. All right, my beta has been transferred from my 10-gallon community to a 5-gallon alone. She hasn't changed any way behavior-wise. Is there anything I can do to make her happier? So you've transferred her from a 10-gallon community to a 5-gallon. How is this 5-gallon set up? Was it cycled before you started? Is it heavily planted? I'd need to know a little bit more, but usually as long as a tank is cycled, heavily planted, and all the water parameters are good, there should be no reason for it not to be happy. How can you treat a beta with ripped fins? I would do a lot of water changes. That is the best way to keep them from getting any bacterial infection. You can also add a little aquarium salt as well to the tank. That will cloud the water. I've no idea what you're talking about there. You'll have to specify. How are you feeling, Sheila? Sorry for your recent loss. Thank you very much. For those of you that don't know, have maybe missed the posts on here and on Instagram, we did have to have one of our little dogs put to sleep this week. I think it was on Tuesday, and we were expecting it. It's been coming for quite a long time, but it still doesn't make it any easier to have to make that decision. And it was Holly. It wasn't little Lucy that you see in the videos. It was her sister Holly. In fact, she was the one that, if you follow us on Instagram, that we do the swimming with the fish videos with, that was her. So talked to you before, what's that? Hi, I talked to you before on Amino app. Yes, I do still go on there. I don't go on as often as I did. Just a time thing is the thing. Okay, how can I test to see if your beta how can you test to see if your beta can live with a snail without attacking it? There isn't really any way to be able to test. I mean, what we did with one of our beta fish who was extremely aggressive is we had her floating in like a breeder box for a few days while the snails went all around the tank, and that did make a big difference. Because, like I say, I was so surprised that eventually she had no issue, and that was actually the mystery snails. In fact, it was these mystery snails in this tank here. These are purples and magentas, and they're doing really well. I think I've just spooked the cories. These are the fish that are still in quarantine from that unboxing video that I did, which is the worst unboxing we've ever had. And thankfully these are still alive. The cories are still alive, and the synodontis catfish are still alive. We are still having problems with the with these. We did lose a lot more, and I don't know whether you can see right there, that one has fungus still, so we're still fighting that. I've done all the treatments I know to do, and I just don't seem to be able to get rid of it. So this tank is very much in quarantine right now because obviously I don't want it spreading. We're using all different types of netting and stuff like that to make sure that we don't have any cross-contamination. All right, have you ever kept glowfish? No, I haven't. I can't say I'm very keen on them, but that's just me personally. Does a beta need to be a certain age to breed, and do they have to be the same tail type? No, they don't have to be the same tail type. I would say for breeding, I wouldn't do them before 8 months of age. I know some people do them at 6 months of age, but I just feel that unless you know where they came from and you know the start that they had, did they have a great start in life, or if it's a pet store beta and they maybe didn't have a good start in life, then giving them a few months extra, I do think would make a big difference. A beautiful tank, sorry for the issues you're having, thank you very much. I am buying 4 to 5 snails today. What tank should I put them in? I have a gravel tank and I found a tank. Well, they need to go into a cycle tank, and as for what tank, ideally if it's 4 snails, I would say minimum 10 gallon. Our snail tank is absolutely overloaded with snails because, as you know, we've been doing a breeding project of doing the snails in the mystery snails, and so I have just a few left in here because I have let most of them out. So they are down here, and let me tell you, this one takes a lot of looking after. We have to do an awful lot of water changes on this tank just because obviously of the amount of snails in there. Lauren Betta says, good morning everyone, nice to see you in here. Broken Gamer says, how are you doing? We are doing okay. Obviously we're still getting over losing one of our dogs. It's never easy, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay, and thankfully our other 2 dogs seem to have coped with it very well. In fact, they've not even shown any difference whatsoever. All right, show us your guppies. We actually only have a few guppies left, and they are in our 75 gallon now. We've put them into this tank and we sold off the rest, so we are no longer breeding them. So All right, now where's the turn the camera around? It seems to have vanished. Okay, I have lost the there we go. My goodness, they'd hidden that well. The guppies, oh, there they are. They're right at the front there, waiting to be fed. Hi, Kira, thanks for joining us. What is the best sponge filter? What's the best sponge filter put there for the lowest price? We use mini sponge filters and we do sell them on our website. Hopefully one of the mods can actually put a link on there so that you can take a look at them. We do ship USA only. We do now ship to Canada for our dividers, and they are on eBay if you're wanting them and you're in Canada. We are now doing that. So this tank is doing great. We did give it a huge makeover not that long ago. Life with Fish finally caught one of your live streams. It has been a long time since we've live streamed. I think it's about 5 weeks when I went back and looked. So it has been quite a long time. As you can see, the Bala sharks are now in here. They have been through their quarantine process. So they are actually in here. And I am sure they've got bigger already, especially the bigger of the two. They've really grown quite a bit since they've been in here. Can betas nip their fins? Yes, they can. It is actually becoming more and more of a problem, and that is because people are breeding them with bigger and bigger fins and they can't swim properly. That's usually why they start biting. It is a stress mechanism, and that's what causes them to nip on their fins. It can also be environmental if the tank is not doing well or the water parameters aren't good. So there are many different reasons why they do it, but it has become a huge problem over, I would say, the last 12 months. We've seen more and more of it, and I am convinced, me personally, and I know that there are some others that are along the same line of thoughts as me, that it is down to the excess of fins that are being produced, that the betas just basically can't handle the swimming of them. Do you think that betas compulsory need a heater? Absolutely, unless you live in a place where the temperature is consistent. We do actually live somewhere where it is consistent, and so we don't have heaters in a lot of our tanks for some of the year. And I'm so sorry for the glare. For some of the year, we don't have heaters in our tanks. However, our tanks are at a consistent 78, 79 degrees. So I would say if you cannot have that day and night, so it's got to be that temperature overnight as well, then yes, you absolutely do need a heater in the tank. All right, let's see. Is a 5-gallon good for a beta, and do they need more swimming space or hiding space? Yes, a 5-gallon is a good size for a beta fish. 5 to 10 gallon I think is better. I did used to say 2.5. However, the more I've sort of got into it over the years and the more we've experimented ourselves, then I do think that 5 is minimum, and between 5 and 10 is better. What is the temperature we need to set it to normally for betas? We have ours at, it's about 79 it runs at, and I would say anything from 78 to 82 is good. I should be ordering from you soon for the sponge filters. Thanks, Sheila. Thank you very much. Do you like reptiles? Would you like to own one? Also, would you recommend pea puffers as a beginner puffer? Do I like reptiles? I wouldn't own them, but I don't dislike them. And as for pea puffers as a beginner puffer, I think that probably they are the easiest out of all the puffers. The ones that we have definitely are not easy. Or haven't been easy. They are now, but they weren't easy in the beginning. And I think that they're only easy now because we were able to line the whole tank with the black that you see. And that is definitely made them easier to care for. Do you use Seachem Matrix in your beta tanks? No, we don't. What part of England are you from? We used to live in Liverpool. Well, I'm from Liverpool, and then I did live in Southport for a while as well. What filters other than sponge filters do you recommend for betas? I don't really have an other recommendation because I don't like to recommend what we don't use for a start, and I do personally think that sponge filters are definitely the best for betta fish. How many guppies and female bettas can you keep in a 29 gallon? That really depends on the setup of the tank. Do you run your filters on individual air pumps or something other? We actually run out, I mean, this one obviously is on an individual air pump because there's just the one tank here. However, all the ones in the kitchen, they are all on, I think there's, how many tanks out there? One, two, there's 4 tanks out there, and we run them on 2 pumps. What fish are you shipping? We're not shipping any fish right now, and we've no plans to. We're going to start with snails very soon and possibly shrimp, but no fish. Is a top fin 5.5 a good tank? Yes, yeah, we've done that. Do you have a divider for a 40-gallon breeder? Not yet. We are actually working on other sizes. We have just done a divider for the top fin tanks. Our dividers have only ever fitted the Aqueon tanks, but they now actually fit we've also got one now, it's on our website, and it is under 10-gallon divider, fits other brands of tank, and that one currently does fit the top fin tank. It also fits the Marineland tank, and we're just waiting to hear back from the testing to whether it fits the Great Choice tank, and I do actually think it's going to. And then we are going to be doing others. We are going to be doing others very soon. So are you going to be selling guppy grass again soon? Yes, I will be putting some on the website possibly tomorrow, but to warn you, it does sell very, very quickly. I think I put 4 or 5 lots on last weekend, and within a few minutes it had gone. And then the same with the frog bit. That's the same thing. All right, so let's have a on the bell film. Okay. How's my buddy Belfin doing? He's doing great, as you can see. Here he is, and he is going to be actually on Tuesday's video that I have just uploaded. I keep losing the chat. Are you going to get a bigger tank for your ballast sharks? Yes, we are planning on doing that when it's needed. Right now they're in a 75-gallon, and that will be good for quite a while, but they will eventually outgrow that. How do you tell the difference between betta genders? The biggest difference, if you don't know the gender. The biggest difference is usually tail type. The males have a much longer tail. However, in the placotte bettas, then that is a little more difficult, and it's usually like their bottom fin is longer, their ventral fins are thicker, and with the female you would look for the egg spot. All right. Please answer my questions. If I've missed it, I'm sorry, you'll have to write it again. I haven't seen the question, or I've obviously skipped over it. Yes, Debbie, your buddy. There he is. He's doing really, really well. He does seem to really like this tank. So, and he hasn't completely destroyed the plants, which is actually what the video is on. He has completely destroyed these moss balls. Just look what he's done to those. Yes, our special needs goldfish does look a lot better. This is definitely a good tank for him. I do wish that we were able to add another goldfish into it. That would be fantastic, but a 20-gallon, I wouldn't add another one into it. This is, to me, it's a little on the small side for him, but it definitely does make a big difference. Oh, was that the question, Melissa? Asking was I shipping fish? Then yes, I did answer it. I said that we're not shipping any fish right now. What a rascal. Yes, he is. Like I say, he's completely I put some of these moss balls in here because I had an excess of them, and I thought, well, I'll just store them in this tank because we do sell moss balls, and so I thought I'll put the excess in this tank. And as you can see, he has just completely destroyed those, and he's also completely destroyed those as well. I want visitation. Yeah, okay, when you're down this way, let me know. Alright, can betas live without a filter? It is not ideal. It can be done, but it is far from ideal. It requires a lot more work. You would have to do regular, large, and I do mean large, 70–80% water changes every 2 to 3 days. So that is a huge commitment. If you can commit to that, then yes, they can. But like I say, it is far from ideal. Okay, how much time does it take for a baby mystery snail to grow full size? That is something I am not certain of yet because I have only just started breeding these, and I have actually been working on a video. I am on week 4 with them, and I've been sort of like doing their growth over the last 4 weeks. I had to eventually let a lot of them out of here simply because it was so full. We must have had well over 100 of them, and so I have put just left a few in here so that we can continue to log their size, and then the rest I've let out. And I want to also experiment with them being in a breeder box. Do they grow slower or do they grow faster if they're not actually in one? So this tank does require an awful lot of work for sure. It depends on the snail and what you feed them. Some take a few weeks, some seem to take months in my experience. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, that'll be interesting to see. We actually have ram's horns in here as well, so we do have the 2 different types in there. I have 3 magenta mystery snail egg clutches. Well, you are very fortunate because I wish we did. Ours still haven't bred yet. They are in here. They've grown an awful lot since we got them. And again, if you've seen the video, you will know they came in awful condition, whereas now their shells are absolutely beautiful. And so I'm hoping that eventually they are going to start spawning for us. That one there is a really nice colour. That's one of the magentas, and these 2 here, you can't really see it, but these 2 here are purples, and then there's several more. But I do wish they breed for me, but they haven't as yet. What brand has the best live beneficial bacteria for cycling a tank, and where should I buy Magenta or Ivory snails from? The best one, I mean, we've used several. I've used the Safe Start and I've also used the Chem, and they've both done really well for me, so I wouldn't like to say which one is best. I've used them both and I've had no issues with them. The last one I used was the Chem, and the tank did cycle and stayed cycled with no issues whatsoever. Are you shipping snails? Yes, we will be once they are big enough to ship. Right now, I feel that some people do ship them at that size, but I'm not comfortable doing that. Where can I get sponge filters for cheaper in Canada? I don't know, maybe try eBay. I did look at doing more things other than our dividers, but the shipping is so expensive to Canada. It is crazy ridiculous, especially in our dividers. It costs me $15 to ship them to Canada. We've still done it. People are buying them. They're available on eBay if you're interested. And we do have the top fin one and also the Aqueon one as well. What are the best tank mates for a beta fish that are good for a 20-gallon? I guess really it depends what you like. We've had great success with the Harlequin Rasboras. They're a good one. They're a nice colourful fish too. And we've actually also had success in the past with the rummy nose tetras, which are the, I don't know whether it's focusing on them, the lights. I've got the lights sort of dimmed on this tank because they're not well, but we've also had great success with those. Corys, that's another one as well. Alright guys, well I am going to end it here. I was only going to come on just for a short time and I can't believe 23 minutes has gone by already. So I am going to end it here. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, another video will be out on Tuesday, and that will be for our goldfish. That's going to be a goldfish video, that one. Alright guys, thanks for watching, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.